Hi, I'm Dr. Andrea Gigline, and welcome to Books That Matter Revisited. Today, I'm going to be ever so slightly self-serving before I tell you about the book and why I think that you should read it and pay attention to it. The reason I'm going to be self-serving is that it's the one video that when I did the TV segments on Books That Matter on YouTube, it has 84,000 views for me, who stays very private in my work, in my consulting. That's a lot of views. And it's by an author that I no longer hold in the same regard, but the information that he gave then, I hold every spec as respectful. And it is Dr. Phil fame, so it's Phil McGraw. And I do want to adjust something. You know, I said that I don't hold him in the same respect. I want to take that back a little bit. I have been floored by how he has evolved his career, and that's actually what I want you to pay attention to. But know that in his original book that came out in '99, I was so impressed how concisely and without a lot of fluff, like he was one of the first people to say self-help actually means you have to do something, you have to help yourself. And I appreciated that because there was a lot of fluffy stuff out there, and he tried to put some wheels to it. And he had one strategy in particular that, given everything we've all been through in our careers and in our communities in the last 2 years, what I think is important is that people treat you the way you teach them to treat you. And what does that mean from a revisited standpoint? Relationships have changed a lot. Now is the time for you to evaluate, how am I treating people differently than I did just 24 months ago? How am I changing my relationships than I did just 24 months ago? And pay a lot of attention, because whatever you're doing to others is also happening to you. And as you begin to re-enter on a more full-time basis, however that full-time basis looks like, what you really want to do is pay a lot of attention to yourself. And that was also the other reason why I chose to redo this book. He was one of the first people to really bring to the forefront that whatever you do in your life, you better put yourself first. And that has become a very central theme in all we do, and especially in our work and our work with corporations. So it is very critical for you to take that responsibility to know, how am I treating myself so that others know how to treat me? So that's the first point. The second point I want to make about his books is to watch what he did. For all of you who think you need to know, especially the younger generations who are coming in and thinking they need to know what they're going to do, I'm going to say, in a way that I couldn't have said 10 or 15 years ago, no, you don't need to know what you do. You need to know what you like to do and get really, really good at it, and apply it to things that allow you to provide for your livelihood. Yes to all of those things. But do you actually have to know where you're going to end up at any point? Not so much. And Phil McGraw is a great example. Started out as a therapist, went into, being able to study juries, and that was his business. That's how he met Oprah. That's how a book came to be. That's how being on her show, then having the one show that, I went to it a lot. I love going to TV shows, so I went to Dr. Phil a lot. But I got to tell you, therapy 5 days a week in front of audiences is not my gig at all. But then he evolved a complete production company, and he puts out really good shows. So at every phase in his life, what I have taken away from watching him is that he has taken base skill and evolved it from career to career and opportunity to opportunity. So that's the life strategy I really want you to take away. I also would love for you to go back and see the original segment, which I will put the link below, because I listened to it myself, and I will say that I'm still living my life and evolving my life from a lot of the information that I shared in that video. So thank you for joining me. I look forward to being with you again soon.